What is going on, world? Welcome back once again. My name is ZacNovak and this is ZacNovak Plays Games, or Big ZacNovak. In today's video, we got XUR'S location and inventory. It's only a couple hours late as per usual. Intro, let's get straight into it, and I do hope you enjoy. Alrighty, getting straight into the video. XUR is on Titan this week, chilling at the rig. So once you spawn in, simply get up this way, head on your Sparrow, and just, yeah, I don't know what I was saying there. I think I meant to say, once you've spawned in, simply jump up this way, get on your Sparrow, and head in this direction. Now, XUR is chilling in Little Hut, as he usually does. Good old Tentacle Face. Fingers crossed he's got something good this week.
I bring a message from the Nine.
Well, that's right, I forgot to give XUR his gift again. So, XUR, here is your gift. Now, this week, have something good for me. Well, actually, it's not horrible. This week, actually, it's surprisingly one thing really good. Let's start things off, though. First thing, we've got the Ashen Wake for the Titan. 23 legendary shards for this Titan exotic, which is fairly unique, main perk being Bringing the Heat. Fusion grenades now explode on impact and gain increased throw speed. So this in itself is useful-ish, I think, in some situations. I don't really use fusion grenades that often, and I don't think I have for about a year and a bit, so these things in themselves are cool looking, but they aren't really that unique. I will actually state the perk in itself is fairly unique, but it's not very useful in pretty much any situation. However, if you are a collector, definitely go ahead and pick this up. Secondary perks on it are as follow. We've got a fusion rifle loader, we've got hand cannon loader, and we've got impact induction. But not limited to, as well as we've got sniper rifle scavenger and machine gun scavenger. Pretty nice, pretty cool. Once again, 23 legendary shards. Pick it up if you have not got it. But moving on, next up, we've got the Ophidius Spade for the Hunter or Huntress, 23 legendary shards. And this thing in itself, I actually have one on at the moment because I really freaking like this because I get to throw my knives unlimitedly. Just, it's a lot of fun. Main perk on this is actually called Scissor Fingers. Grants 2 knives per charge. Now this thing in itself, if you are running it as a hunter, as an actual good old freaking solar golden gun knives thing, this one, the Burning Edge, way of 1,000 cuts. You have the ability of Knife Trick, throwing a fan of knives that burns targets. This thing in itself is a lot of fun, and it is so much more fun with Ophidius Spade, and I just had to mention that because it is honestly just, it's amazing. Pick it up if you have not got it. It's just cool. Ooh, let's just go to secondary perks and see what they are. We've got Unflinching Bow Aim, we've got Unflinching Fusion Rifle Aim, and we've also got Unflinching Kinetic Aim. Not too bad, but not limited to, as well as we've got Scout Rifle Reserves and Special Ammo Finder. Pretty nice, pretty cool. Pick it up once again if you have not got it because this is amazingly OP. 23 legendary shards once again. Next up though, we've got ourselves the Stag for the Warlock. 23 legendary shards for this innuendoly known name of a helmet, although it's called a stag because it looks like a stag, but its main perk actually is called Dearly Departed. Grants rift energy when you are critically wounded, and on death creates a healing rift on your corpse, so your teammates do have that little bit of healing that, you know, you should have given them when you were alive. But anyway, this thing in itself actually is fairly unique, especially for the looks. I will state this thing aesthetically is really freaking cool looking and really freaking hype. It also has a secondary one, which is the ornament for it, which just makes it look even scarier and more deadly. This thing in itself is honestly fairly cool. Main perk, again, Dearly Departed. It's not the greatest, but it could be, you know, slightly better. Still, it is a very unique perk. Though secondary perks being Unflinching. Those secondary perks are as follow. We got Fusion Rifle Targeting, we got Hand Cannon Targeting, we've also got Hands On, but not limited to, as well as we've also got Sniper Rifle Reserves and Machine Gun Reserves. So that's pretty cool and pretty nice. 23 legendary shards, pick it up if you have not got it. But moving on, next up we actually have ourselves the weapon of the week, the DARCI. Dare I say that this thing is extremely not great, but still actually fairly useful. I will say that it is 29 legendary shards for this drastically cool looking sniper. Its main perk is actually called Personal Assistant. Aim at an enemy to view its health and other critical information in the scope, meaning you can see a lot of things about your enemies, not like all this details about who their best friends are, what their favorite color is and what kind of food they like, but you can actually see if they got super, if they got shield, and if they got certain other things. This thing in itself is fairly nice, as well as its secondary perk pretty much going hand in hand with Personal Assistant. We've got ourselves Target Acquired. When a Personal Assistant is active, this weapon has better target acquisition and deals significantly more precision damage. This thing in itself actually is really beastly, seriously, for the perk Target Acquired. If you are actually going up against certain people, especially in Crucible, this thing in itself it's beastly. It's really freaking beastly. In PvE, this thing in itself actually does come in handy in pretty much almost any situation, come to think of it, especially if like that situation calls for a sniper. This thing is fairly unique. It actually looks pretty cool with ornaments on mind of its own, which, you know, makes it look a little bit kind of more like a Vexy type of thing, but I really like Cleans Up Good, which just looks really freaking awesome because it's got like this glowing red bar and this like green stuff that's going through like blue radiolarian electric blade. I don't know what this is. I think it's radiolarian fluid going through the gun. That's my understanding of it. Anyway, this thing in itself actually is pretty decent, so pick it up if you have not got a 29 legendary shards. Moving on, next up we've got the consumables of the week. We've got ourselves the 5 of Swords. Now this challenge card can actually be used to make your nightfalls more challenging by adding challenges upon the challenges that already exist in the challenging nightfall that is being challenging to, you know, make it more challenging. So pick it up if you have not got it, if you want to make your challenging modifiers more challenging. It's really actually cool. It allows you to get a higher score in the actual nightfall and allows you to actually, you know, go through and get pretty much the highest score possible when you are on the nightfall. So this thing in itself is honestly pretty cool, and it does make things a little more challenging in pretty much all different ways. It's pretty cool. But finally, moving on, next up, we've got ourselves the Isochronal Engram. 97 legendary shards for the Faded Engram, only going to get equipped into an exotic that you don't actually own unless you own all the exotics. Then it's going to give you a duplicate exotic. However, all the exotics in the actual loot pool don't actually kind of consist of the most recent DLC, so let's just kind of keep that in mind. I will actually state this thing in itself is fairly useful, especially if you want to actually get something that is a bit of armor that actually has better perks than something you've already got. And I got Fighting Lion, that is not armor, so I can't put any better perks on it, but I will actually state Fighting Lion actually isn't too bad. It honestly is more beastly now that it's got this buff, but it's one of those things where if you want to kind of surprise your enemies, this thing in itself is fairly unique and fairly a good choice. I myself do like it, but I am actually dismantling it because I've already got 2 in the vault. And yeah. So anyway, that has been Zor's location and inventory for the weekend. This has been ZacNovak. Click that like button down below if you guys did actually enjoy the video. Leave a comment, let me know, was this video helpful? Did you guys actually get anything from Zor? Was there anything you were missing from Zor that you did actually want to get and you were able to get from Zor this time around? Let me know in the comment section. Do all that good stuff. Share this video because it definitely helps out you guys, helps out the channel, and helps out other people to be actually able to see, you know, where Zor is. Because some people, they had the problem where Zor in himself does actually not show up on the map anymore. So yeah, that's one of those things. But anyway, this has been ZacNovak, this has been Zor's location. Do all that good stuff down below. Don't be Sharon like Karen. He was a Sharon. But until next time, this is ZacNovak signing off. Peace out.